Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. With Hell in a Cell just 2 days away, what will the WWE do to hype it on Smackdown? Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 23rd October episode of Smackdown, as well as the wildest wrestling news and stories you need to know, including, is this Daniel Bryan's last run? Vince unbans a move. Are the Young Bucks turning heel? Is a WCW star appearing at Dynamite? And more. As always, Wrestlelamia won't recap the show, but provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Roman stipulation. Roman Reigns revealing that the Usos will be disowned from the tribe was an interesting stipulation, and one to ensure the Usos will get in line with the tribal chief after Reigns defeats Jey Uso at Hell in a Cell. The WWE set things up with a hope spot by having Reigns laid out before SmackDown went off the air, but it's doubtful anyone thinks Reigns is counting the lights on Sunday. There is a women's division. Fans of SmackDown's women's division were pleasantly surprised to see that there are women on the blue brand besides Bayley and Sasha Banks. As much as Wrestlelamia is enjoying the Banks vs. Bayley feud, there are some other talented women on the roster, and it was refreshing to see them, particularly Bianca Belair. While Zelina Vega is better known for her work as a manager, a role she thrives in, she's no slouch in the ring, even though she's had no push as a wrestler. Banks vs. Bayley build-up. And speaking of the former golden role models, the Sasha Banks vs. Bayley feud continues to build with the boss getting her way by forcing Bayley to sign the contract for the SmackDown Women's Championship match at Hell in a Cell. The segment was a nice change of pace that showed Banks isn't backing down until she gets her former friend in the ring for some well-deserved revenge. A good opening match. SmackDown opened with a strong 10-man tag match, something fans don't see too often, but which afforded the opportunity for several wrestlers to get their TV time and remind the fans just how talented its wrestlers are. It never hurts to have an exciting match open the show, and let's face it, nobody wants to see a 10-minute opening promo, yet we seem to get it far too much, and this fit the bill. And it also helped keep the idea of the Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode fresh in the fans' minds without a repetitive rematch. The bad. Shorty G. While Wrestlelamia is happy to see the WWE dropping Chad Gable's silly Shorty G gimmick, it's disappointed to see the promotion replacing it with an even more silly gimmick, Gable boasting of his massive manhood. Who knows, maybe this is the gimmick that Gable's been waiting for to make the transition from talented tag team performer to singles star, but wasn't that supposed to happen when Gable went to the finals of the 2019 King of the Ring? Gable has repeatedly shown he has the skills to work with a number of superstars and get over to a certain extent, but like many other talented workers, his career has been a series of inconsistent pushes. Jobbing Gable every week and turning him heel with no explanation guaranteed no one was going to care about him, and this latest gimmick is a bad omen for Gable. Otis segment. You know things are bad when even John Morrison and The Miz can't save a comedy segment. Last night's Law and Otis was the kind of Shudder TV that makes fans embarrassed to be caught watching when their non-wrestling fan friends stop by. The fact that Otis fans are disgusted with his fall from grace since winning the Money in the Bank briefcase doesn't help, but these segments only reinforce the belief that WWE has no idea what to do with Otis now that Mandy Rose is on Raw. Flat go-home show. The go-home SmackDown was surprisingly flat, with nothing spectacular in building up to Hell in a Cell other than the Banks and Bayley segment. Roman's announcement that the Usos would have to step in line with him as tribal chief should Jey lose was interesting, but nothing unexpected. The downright ugly. Nothing ugly about this show, but nothing exciting. With SmackDown airing on FS1 instead of Fox due to the World Series, the WWE may have felt that they had less incentive to build up the show as the airings on FS1 typically draw fewer viewers. However, should the WWE phone it in anytime? Fans who do tune in to the WWE regardless of when or where it airs aren't going to be happy, and while there wasn't anything ugly about last night's show, there was zero reason to tune in unless you're interested in the WWE's take on courtroom drama. News. Is this Daniel Bryan's last run? Daniel Bryan fans are undoubtedly happy that the former world champion is back in action, but they'd better enjoy his appearances while they can, as Bryan says this is his last run in the WWE. During an appearance on Talking Smack, Bryan discussed how he's more concerned with proving things to himself and helping younger talent. I haven't said anything about this, but in my mind, this is kind of my last run. This is my last run as a full-time superstar. It's not really a scoop. I think you can feel it even in just the way I approach things and the way my mentality is as far as my view towards younger people and that kind of stuff. According to Wrestling News, Bryan's WWE contract expires in the fall of 2021. You may recall a previous report where Bryan talked about working a lighter schedule so he can spend time with his family. Do you think Bryan will change his mind and wrestle longer? Let us know in the comments below. Are the Young Bucks turning heel? Are the Young Bucks turning heel? That's the question AEW fans have been asking after Nick and Matt Jackson's recent actions, including super-kicking non-wrestlers Alex Marvez and Tony Schiavone. There's little doubt that the Bucks have been frustrated with the actions of some of their fellow members of the Elite, as well as the heelish actions of current AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR. But according to Dave Meltzer, there are no plans for the Bucks to turn heel. Diamond Dave discussed the program between the Bucks and FTR, analyzing the Bucks' recent actions. Most feel the entire Young Bucks vs FTR program should have been two teams battling over who is the best tag team in the world, with the Bucks as natural faces against the outside team who at one point was trying to use Jim Cornette verbiage to knock the fans into the other wrestlers in the promotion. Instead, it appeared the Bucks were going heel before the first match, which made no sense. Right now, the idea is that misunderstandings and pressure have them doing heelish things, but they aren't really heels. While the build-up between these teams has been hit and miss, their match at AEW's next pay-per-view, Full Gear, looks to be fantastic. Vince allows previously banned move. The WWE has banned moves in the past, such as the pile driver. In fact, Wrestlelamia has videos covering banned moves in the WWE and why they were banned. But apparently, they've brought back a previously prohibited move as Seth Rollins hit Murphy with the Buckle Bomb on the 23rd October Smackdown. You may recall that the Buckle Bomb was reportedly banned after Nia Jax nearly wrecked Kairi Sane when she hit the move wrong. Rollins is no stranger to Buckle Bomb bungles either, as a Buckle Bomb he hit on Sting ended Sting's career, although Sting doesn't hold Rollins responsible. AEW female wrestler injured? Bad news for AEW's women's division, as yet another wrestler has been injured, and from initial reports, it's a serious injury. According to Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online, AEW performer Abaddon was injured last night and hospitalized in her match with Tay Conti. We don't have full details, but it was serious and she's expected to make a complete recovery. Abaddon has livened up AEW's women's ranks with her exotic look and sensational style. Wrestlelamia wishes her a fast and full recovery and will continue following this story. Spoiler: WCW star returns to AEW Dynamite. WCW fans may want to tune in to the 28th October Dynamite because rumor has it a former WCW star will be at the show. Spoiler warning for those who like to be surprised. According to Reddit user SpaceForce1, who has provided spot-on spoilers in the past on Dynamite tapings, is reporting that Eric Bischoff will be back on Dynamite to help with the Inner Circle's town hall meeting regarding MJF wanting to join the heel faction. All Elite Wrestling may not have the rights to WCW properties, as WWE owns them, but that hasn't stopped them from relying on WCW fans' nostalgia, whether it's bringing in WCW legends such as Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, or hiring Tony Schiavone as Dynamite's announcer. Why Shorty G name changed? Last but not least, Chad Gable is a talented wrestler who looked to be getting a push in 2019 after he went to the King of the Ring finals against Baron Corbin, changing his name to Shorty G and watching his career quickly circling the WWE toilet. However, could the WWE's decision to drop the Shorty G nickname that played on Gable's stature be a sign of a renewed push? Wrestling News' Paul Davis had some encouraging news for Gable's fans. Vince sees talent in him and he meant well with the Shorty gimmick, but Vince might not want to push him all the way as a top guy because of his size. The agents and the wrestlers want more for Chad, but Vince can change his mind tomorrow, and I think we all know that. Chad knows that. It's unlikely fans are going to see Gable in the main event, but there's no reason he can't compete on the undercard, possibly even vying for the Intercontinental Championship. Do you think Gable deserves a push? Let us know in the comments below. Well guys, there you have it, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly from the 23rd October Smackdown, along with the wildest news, stories, and rumors you need to know in wrestling. What did you think of these stories and rumors? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.